welcome each of you to this virtual observance celebrating the Freedom Fountain. I am Laurette Leagon, Vice Chair of the Onslow Civic Affairs Committee. It is our duty to perform this annual observance to celebrate those who have passed through Onslow County in service to our nation. The Freedom Fountain is dedicated to them. At this moment, only the Freedom Jet is flowing to allow for this observance. Because of COVID-19, there is no audience today. There are no members of the Lejeune High School Junior ROTC to bring in the flags, and there is no Freedom speaker this year. Only members of the Onslow Civic Affairs Committee will participate in this virtual observance. But rather than cancel our now annual observance, we wanted to use this safe method to tell the story of how this fountain came to be, and the resolve we have to continue to tell the story of our commitment to those who have passed through our community to serve our nation. More than 20 years ago, the predecessors of the Onslow Civic Affairs Committee began work to care for those deployed during Desert Storm and Desert Shield. Those actions later were embodied in what became the motto for the city of the Jacksonville, a caring community. It also became one of the reasons that our community won the designation of an All-America City. We salute Mayor Sammy Phillips for his One City campaign. It calls on each of us during the campaign to treat each other as we would want to be treated. This emphasis on civility is in the spirit of our community as a caring community. This fountain is a demonstration of that caring, our greatest tribute to those to whom it is dedicated in civil treatment of one another.
The first Freedom Fountain was adjacent to the courthouse. That space was needed for the new Justice Center. The Civic Affairs Committee sought a new Freedom Fountain after the first had been removed. The dream of a grand Freedom Fountain has been realized in this magnificent tribute to our community's resolve to never forget the sacrifices that are paid for freedom. At the dedication of this fountain, November 9, 2012, the committee made a pledge to share the purpose of this fountain annually and to celebrate the freedom that is won by those who serve our country. Veterans Day and the Marine Corps birthday helped to set the timing for this annual renewal dedication of the Freedom Fountain to all those who come through Onslow County in service to our country. Our community is well aware of the sacrifices of military service, the sacrifices of those who serve, the sacrifices of their loved ones, and the pain of the ultimate sacrifice. We cherish the pride that comes from serving our nation, and this fountain embraces our acknowledgement of our community's special gift of being able to live among those who serve our country. This fountain has become our community's visible, tangible, meaningful symbol of awareness, interdependence, our commitment and appreciation for all those who know the price of freedom and those who pay that price daily.
O Lord, who knows the contents of all the hearts and minds here, help us to carry forth your mission of peace and understanding while defending our freedom. We pray to you to channel our thoughts, our work, and our deeds to show appreciation for your gift of freedom and to those who daily toil in the defense of freedom. Help us to have a community that is supportive and which advances the compassion that you have showered on your people. Help us to continue the mission of freedom and help to support those who advance the mission. We pray that we feel your presence today and that this fountain allows those who serve their nation to feel our compassion, our appreciation, and our awareness of their work. Amen.
Now please join me in our pledge to our nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We stand today along Freedom Way. The concept of Freedom Way has its origins during the First Gulf War. That's when Jacksonville responded to the need to provide help and assistance to military families. The deployment was sudden and involved thousands of troops. It was expected to be long and extensive. During that time, the idea came to be to recognize the pathway that so many of our Marines and sailors took to get from the bases to be deployed. At that time, the route most traveled was from our bases to the port at Morehead City. With resolutions, proclamations, or declarations from various communities from Jacksonville, Swansboro, Carteret, and Onslow counties to Morehead City, the North Carolina Department of Transportation agreed, and with support from each of the jurisdictions through which it passed, the route was named Freedom Way. Freedom Way became a designation by the State Board of Transportation. Signage was erected marking the route, and the portion between the main gate and Swansboro was officially named Freedom Way to further the designation permanently as part of the addresses of those who live along this corridor. With the anchors being the state port at Morehead City, a location in Jacksonville was selected as the ceremonial beginning. That point was generally between two courthouses. It became a sharper point with the building of the first Freedom Fountain, which became a centerpiece of Courthouse Square.
The first Freedom Fountain was constructed from public donations that flowed from a project to put a flag on every pole along every major route in the community. Other donations came specifically for the fountain, and a simple design was selected and built by the Onslow County government. The first fountain was more than a marker than a statement, but the message it carried was strong, that the fountain honors all individuals who have passed through Onslow County in the service to their country. The first Freedom Fountain had to make way for progress. The Onslow County Justice Center now occupies that space. Now, this Freedom Fountain stands grandly to carry forth this message of appreciation and honor for all those who passed through Onslow County in service to their country.
This site where we stand today is now a gateway for downtown Jacksonville. Not too far behind me is the Leagon Memorial Gardens, where the Beirut Memorial, Vietnam Memorial, and the 9/11 Memorial were the first constructed there. Now we have the magnificent Montford Point Marines Memorial and the Museum of the Marine Reflection Park with the spectacular Eagle Globe and Anchor. More memorials are planned for the area. The Leagon Memorial Gardens are across Montford Landing Road from the National Cemetery. It was constructed by the Marine Corps to lay to rest some of the graves moved to make way for construction of the base in 1941. That cemetery is in front of the Coastal Carolina Veterans Cemetery created by the state for our veterans. Across Lejeune Boulevard is the Jacksonville City Cemetery, where generations of city residents have been buried.
The Freedom Fountain site is an extension of our community's resolve to never forget. The flag gardens extend the immediate area of the garden or the fountain to a location just a few feet away from the Lejeune Memorial Gardens, where that resolve is clearly demonstrated. The connector for all of this is the Blue Star Highway that runs from here to the main gate. It was given that designation by the National Council of State Garden Clubs and dedicated by the marker on a traffic island behind me. All of these together expand the legacy of the Beirut Memorial, the Lejeune Memorial Gardens, and the cemeteries nearby. This site expands ground that is consecrated to honor those who serve. It remembers, honors, and extols the appreciation of this community for those in the service to our nation.
To advance the construction of this Freedom Fountain, 3 concepts were considered. each featuring a water basin and a central water jet. To gain input from the public, the concepts were discussed by members of the Onslow Civic Affairs Committee in these presentations, on TV, and in many publications. A poll allowed the citizens to give their opinion about which features they liked from each of the three concepts. Several hundred people participated in giving input about these ideas for what the new Freedom Fountain should look like.
The Freedom Fountain has a pool with a disappearing edge, representing that the flow of efforts to preserve freedom operates continuously. Quieted now because of a broken part are 50 bubblers around the edge of the central pool, one bubbler for each state of the Union. Also quieted for our observant are the three fountain spires. They represent our government at the federal, state, and local levels. In the center is the tallest of the fountain jets. It is the tribute to freedom.
Behind me are two flag gardens. In the closest, flags represent the nation, the state, the county, and the city. The second flag garden was completed in 2015. It proudly carries each of the service flags for our nation's armed services. The Fountain Plaza is constructed of bricks that can memorialize, honor, or recognize events, persons, groups, or activities. The wall behind the fountain contains 5 arches representing the 5 services. In 2013, the medallions, now framed within the arches, were dedicated. Benches in the area invite visitors to pause in their reflection of the price of freedom. The plaza has been used for ceremonies, picture taking, and reflection. There are also 5 kiosks around the fountain which tell the story of the Freedom Fountain.
Hidden beneath the water are lights that illuminate the fountain. These lights are capable of painting the fountain in red, white, and blue, and on special occasions, other colors. On Veterans Day, the lights will be cycling between red, white, and blue. They honor other causes important to our community by displaying other colors as appropriate. This fountain is clearly visible by motorists who travel these streets. It is our hope that the tall spires of these water columns, framed by the fountain and the nightly illumination, will cause it to be an enduring icon of the resolution of this community to show that it cares.
So, together with Council Member Jerry Bittner, we serve on the Civic Affairs Committee as full members. Our service on this committee is an enduring symbol of the joint and cooperative work of our two governments. The Onslow Civic Affairs Committee also represents our communities and places that make up Onslow County. This year, the committee will perform the symbolic renewal of the joint spirit of appreciation this community as a whole has for those who have passed through Onslow County in service to their country. Committee members will have a vial of water representing the neighborhood or community to mix with that which fills our fountain. This renewal of the shared spirit of community continues our pledge to never forget the sacrifices of those who serve to defend our country and the sacrifices their families and loved ones also share.
Let us together renew our dedication of this fountain. Together, as a community, we give thanks for our freedom. Together, as a community, we give honor to those who defend our freedom. Together, as a community, we renew our dedication of this fountain to all those who have passed through Onslow County in service to their nation. Together, as a community, we pledge to never forget the sacrifices of military service. Together, as a community, we honor their families, loved ones, and those who support them for their sacrifices. Together, as a community, we pledge to faithfully observe and renew the purpose of the Freedom Fountain.
Let us pray. O eternal God, mighty in power and of majesty, we rejoice in your presence that we are able to enjoy freedom. Freedom to worship, freedom to speak, freedom to live, laugh, and to prosper. We celebrate and appreciate the sacrifice of those who have defended our freedom. We ask, O God, that you would preserve in our memory these sacrifices in order that we might provide a fitting tribute to all those who have or will serve this community and who will pass through our community. We pray, O God, that you would watch over those who have served. We pray, O God, that you would watch over those who now serve. And we pray that you would watch over those who will serve in the future. Help us to guard this treasure, that we be blessed by it, that we nurture it, and that we pass it to future generations, that they too may forever appreciate and recognize the cost of freedom. We pray that you watch over this fountain, and that as the water circulates continually, so too may your eternal love be manifest in the spirit that has caused this fountain to be built. Lord, grant those who enter this special place with your eternal gift and the gift of appreciation for and to the service of others. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
And now, let's return the fountain to its full glory. The bubblers that represent the 50 states are not working today because of a broken part, but it's scheduled to arrive and be replaced very soon. So for this year, we return the trio of the fountain jets that represent the federal, state, and local governments. This fountain has become a place of pride. Pride for a community who recognizes the sacrifices of service to the country, and pride in living together as a community with those who serve now and those who have served. It will stand as a testament to the role of this community has offered in the defense of freedom now, in the past, and into the future. It is our hope that those who pause here or who travel these well-worn routes that surround it will see this fountain as a resolve of a community. It is the duty sentry, the silent testimony, the illuminated beacon to tell the story of a community that appreciates being able to live among those who serve. Thank you to each of you for your participation in our community's renewal of appreciation for those who have served their nation and passed through our community in doing so.